Welcome to the Aviation Pros Podcast, the go-to platform for professionals in the aviation industry. Powered by AviationPros.com, the leading source for comprehensive news, insights, and data on airport operations. Whether you're focused on airport management, improvement programs, ground handling, equipment, MRO, or FBO operations, we've got you covered with the expertise and resources you need to stay ahead. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this special edition of the Aviation Pros Podcast. I'm Joe Petrie, Editor-in-Chief of Airport Business and AviationPros.com. The war in Ukraine brought that country's air system to a halt 3 years ago. Commercial flights are non-existent, with few airports serving military and government traffic, while the overall condition of those close to the front lines with Russia remain unknown. And on top of the infrastructure issues, the nation faces a near-total loss of its skilled aviation workforce. The international community has taken notice, and the Ukrainian aviation officials are looking to a post-war future where they can restart the system and build a new generation that integrates Ukraine not just with Europe, but with the world. A group of aviation industry experts, through the Ukraine Aviation Recovery and Reconstruction Program, are working with the Association Airports of Ukraine of Civil Aviation and Ukraine airport officials to assist with the eventual rebuild and recovery of the Ukrainian airport network. To date, there have been approximately $2 billion in damages done to Ukraine's air transportation system resulting from the Russian invasion. In this episode, I got to speak with a few of these aviation officials from Ukraine. Joining today are Alexander Cherepanov, Head of Strategic Development of Airports and International Relations Committee for the Association Airports of Ukraine, Hannah Mazer, Tetiana Romanovska, General Manager of the Lviv Airport, and Alexander Pukin. They explain some of the challenges they're facing and what they see for the future. I want to thank all of you today for taking the time to speak with me about this very important issue and the big challenges that are facing in Ukraine. And one of the biggest questions I had to start off, tell me right now what kind of stress level or what challenges are being faced by the Ukrainian aviation system because of the conflict with Russia.
May we briefly, from the point of view of ministry, we have the general information that starting the invasion in 2022, we had have 15 airports out of 19 which were easily or heavily damaged. And for the time being, we have no concrete information about the scope of damages in each of these airports. Actually, in 2022, jointly with World Bank and European Commission, they started the, so to say, RDNA. It's the abbreviation for rapid damage and needs assessment. And we have 3 assessments already made. And in November, they started the RDNA 4. And according to the data collection analysis of damages, we will see the report preliminary in February this year about the damages to all the infrastructure and transport as well. That is why for today we cannot share information about these damages.
So in addition to the infrastructure damages, where in airports, as Anna told, in 15 airports, in addition to this, we, as you know, since the February of 2022, we have no aviation activity in Ukraine, and that means that the qualification is lost. So in addition to the infrastructure damages, we have so-called human damages. That means that most of the qualified personnel lost the qualification, and some of the personnel moved out of the country. Some of the personnel right now been involved to the war, and they are in a area of the action. So this should be also taken into consideration. And the second issue I would like to emphasize that the equipment we have in the airport, after such a long period of the so-called conservation, most probably will give us a surprise during the renovation period of the renovation. So we may face so-called underwater storms that may affect the airport activity as well.
So the biggest issue for us, it's like you told, it's what we are not operating now. During 3 years, we are not operating. Yes, many airports are damaged. Some of them are okay. So these issues about how we are going with to just eliminate all these questions. But here in Lviv, we reduced our personnel by so 30% of our staff are here. We keep our staff trained. We keep some our staff in Rzeszów airport. What is good, some guys are working in handling and some ladies are working in passenger handling. So 10 people are there. And here we are updating all our certificates regarding aviation security, regarding handling. We keep our operational staff trained. So if to frankly saying, I don't want to say, yes, everything is excellent. But if in case we would be preparing for start operations, we could start maybe within 2-3 weeks, and that's it. So what is good? We are communicating with airlines, Ukrainian airlines, and some international guys, with Turkish Airlines, with Wizz Air, with Ryanair, and we keep them updating all the time about our current status of certification and operation readiness. Some of them were visiting our airport. Wizz Air team was visiting 2 weeks ago, and they were really amazed that all is in good stuff. So operational readiness and the security guys and the equipment is okay. So as regarding Lviv airport, I don't want to tell you that we are the best ones, but we are safe, we are okay and operationally ready. So good is we have operational staff, good we are operationally ready, and most priority is it's our safety. So we have 24 hours safeguard guarding airport. We have block posts, and we take care about runway because some state aviation flights still performed here, but neither military aircrafts like from military actions not here. So we keep it far from military aircrafts, only some state aviation. So as regarding us, we could ask only for some funds financial, because the third year of war we were spending our own money which we earned before war, but this year we will start already 25 with state budget. And if we will not operate this year, so for next year we will be asking for some international funds or again state to finance us with budgeting our personnel.
So honestly speaking, we have 3 main priorities: infrastructure, damaged infrastructure, equipment should be updated or even exchanged if it is completely out of service, and the human so-called resources. We have to pay attention to the level of qualification, to the level of knowledge, and I have no doubt that most of the personnel kept in the qualification is kept for them, but before the activity will be renewed, restarted, we have to be sure that personnel able to perform their duties and are qualified to do their duties. And as Tatiana told, the main target and priorities is safety of the operation in the beginning.
We have, we were preparing maybe to start operations even by the end of this year. So we finalized trainings by end of October and November. So now we have qualified and finalized training for security, aviation security, for handling staff, for passenger handling. So if now we could be announced, so you get ready and open in 2-3 weeks, we could start operations in 2-3 weeks. We have updated our certificates on all passenger handling and aviation security services. So as regards to staff, we are okay, but not maybe in very big quantity of flights. It was prepared only for maybe 5-7 daily flights. Because if we could maybe operate during war, we were just preparing with a small quantity of staff. So just to begin, just to have at least those training of trainers at a place. But further, it's much more easier to train more staff. So for you to understand, for small operations starting, we are ready. And plus to that, we have arranged even some CONOPS. I know Borispol has, and we have this CONOPS, just our operation readiness document. If we were even starting operations during war, some emergency procedures are described there. So evacuation plan and etc. So we have done a huge job during these 2 years, and we are on the step of just opening every month or every half a year. So we keep updating our operating certificates and keep updating our documents every time. So the only issue is just finances, because we spend finances every month in around 10 million hryvnias just to survive, to keep operations.
The safety is the main priority for us during the renovation of the airport and aviation activity. The recertification process of the airport should be taken into consideration as well, and I guess that some support with this issue may be required by the Civil Aviation Authority with experience of the experts who has the knowledge of the rear war renovation of the aviation activity. I mean that the renovation activity, the airports that was in the area of the post-war area. So it should be also taken into consideration.
So can you explain overall the primary goals and scope of the Ukrainian Aviation Recovery and Reconstruction Program?
Coming back to the program, honestly speaking, Joe, the program being initiated by our colleagues from the United States, and the primary goal was to support the Ukrainian airports and air traffic control services in the renovation process, to support the bridge between the United States and Ukraine, to facilitate the process of the renovation and to support the Ukrainian side, our side, with the required so-called know-how, required equipment. The program being initiated by the United States, from the United States, and at the moment we follow the so-called the program which leaded by the United States.
From our side, maybe if we are talking about financial support, the only organization which supported us since 2022, Eurocontrol. Now we signed agreement with them, and according to this agreement, was established the European ATM Voluntary Solidarity Fund, and now it is extended for the next 2 years. And this fund aimed for supporting the operational and training activity of our air navigation provider UXATS and CAF Ukraine. I'd like to emphasize that for today we have such a source of funding.
The main target of the program is to support Ukrainian side, our side, with renovation process and further development process. The program right now in the early beginning stage, nothing report yet, except of the activity being done in order to so-called clarify the requirements for the training. So American Aviation Airports Association helped us with the training to find out which training needs we have. And at the moment, that is all been done, nothing else. So
looking at this, with more than $2 billion in damages done to the aviation infrastructure in Ukraine, how is it going to prioritize some of the needs to the system and what needs the most immediate attention going forward?
Actually, the priority list maybe will be finalized not earlier than the report of RDNA 4. And we have to understand that not only airport infrastructure is in the list. Now we have a lot of damages in regions and in housing. So this priority list will be prepared afterwards, not now.
Having understanding the real situation in Ukraine, the main priority, I guess, to be paid to the main airports that should serve the expectation of the country at all. Two main state airports in Ukraine, it's Borispol airports and Lviv airports, and there are some public airports as well that serve the community in Ukraine. So the prioritization should be done in a way that we have to understand the real necessity of the country in the air traffic and the aviation activity.
So there's going to be a lot of equipment needs. I know you mentioned that before, especially when it comes to such things as ground support equipment. I know there's challenges now with just having that type of equipment. What are some of the most pressing needs the Ukrainian airports have as far as the equipment and what's going to be done with the program and hopefully addressing these?
If to prioritize, we to replace our instrumental landing system, ILS. So this is in priorities because our former second category instrumental landing system, category 2, it is very, very old and we will need to update it. So this is top priority for us to be able to fly during maybe a spring or autumn during very big fogs. But if we'll start operations during summer, so in visual we can start operations. Just after we have to have some overflight this old equipment. So this is prioritized. Also, we would like perimeter system upgrade. It is security system upgrade. It is not very old, but some part of it should be upgraded or even just replaced with better ones. So it is not like totally bad, not. But half of it was replaced 12 years ago because during upgrading of airport, and half of it not because it is just neighboring with some either other enterprises or it is not so opened, and some runway extension or upgrades, which is not very critical for now. So we don't have very many airfield rehabilitation projects. But still, we have need some upgrades regarding this ILS and some maybe security machine inside. And regarding handling equipment, we have still available it, maybe for cargo if cargo start flies in priority very big volumes, then we will require some. So we have already a ready list of equipment.
To summarize, we can so-called specify the area of the equipment required. The first one is airfield equipment, such as lighting equipment and ILS. instrumental landing system. Mostly all the airports need to at least renovate, and in the worst case scenario, exchange because of this of the current status of the system. Lighting equipment, I told already. Then from the airport equipment, emergency equipment such as firefighting equipment and emergency evacuation equipment. Then from the side of the airport operations, security equipment, including X-ray machines and vapor detectors and so on. Then video security equipment, cameras and so on. Then anti-drone equipment. I guess we have to pay attention to this also. And from the side of the ground handling equipment, it's not critical right now. It depends on the current situation at every airport, but I guess more or less the situation here is good.
Another part of this too is going to be the air navigation service provider in the country as well. How is that being approached as far as some of the upgrades or the recovery system and how that could be enhanced once everything is over?
Just few words about the Ukrsatse preparation. They close communicate with Eurocontrol, and as far as I know, they participate in different projects with the target to support them with renovation. So, as I'm not told, we will ask the Ukrsatse to provide us with their needs and their view of the required equipment and required activity to support them in the renovation phase.
And you had mentioned earlier on in this discussion about just the staffing and the people that need to be replaced as far as being able to operate these airports and these airfields across the country. What are some of the specific training needs for Ukrainian airport staff, and how are you planning to address this and not just address it, but rebuild and upskill the workforce that was once there?
For all the personnel, the security training should be provided, the safety training should be provided, human factor training should be provided. Right now I mentioned the so-called the fundamental training that should be provided to all the staff within the airports. And then we have to provide the specific training to every personnel who involved to different operations within the airports. And as Tanya told us, they are happy to have their personnel working at the moment in Poland there within the active airports, so they may so-called keep their qualification. The training for the personnel should be divided into two parts: theoretical training and practical training. And the theoretical training may be delivered anytime, even when airport is still out of operations. But the practical training may be delivered when we have real activity in place. So the possible way to train the personnel is deliver the theoretical training in advance when we will plan the renovation, the date of the renovation of the airport, and then having the trainers in place to perform the practical training in place here by their own trainers, who has to have its qualification valid, or the qualification of these trainers may be renovated also in advance in active airports. I see this process in this way.
What is good, we have our aviation security training center, as well as Borispol has. And we make all these aviation security trainings by ourselves and upgrading and updating all the knowledges for our staff regularly. So this is very good. As for handling as well, we have finalized our training of trainers And this lady also, which is now teacher, re-updated certificates for our ground handling staff and for passenger services. So what as I've told before, we have the very ready, valid certificates for this while we are not operating, because we have kept our staff, the small kind of staff, at place. And these guys even sometimes go to the apron and make some procedures near the state aviation aircraft, so they haven't forgotten all these procedures, and they keep their knowledge updated. So the only thing which would we ask, maybe you could send our staff or for some airports, so we can send them to Polish airports or other. So our Polish colleagues also recommended us. So if in case you want, you can send staff to our airports just to be sometime in this, to keep some days them on a live situation of airports. So be on the airports, be on the check-in area. So just to remember, to understand how it works, and not to forget about it. So and airlines also ready to send us some their staff, handling staff, to update, to renew knowledges with some check-in systems or on the ground, like Turkish Airlines propose us. So once they will come, so they easily do handling by themselves together with our staff. So they say, don't worry, we will keep you ready together with our staff. They have their own staff, which is always at the early beginning of handling. So Wizz Air was the same. So Ukrainian companies same. So I don't afraid that our staff will not be ready. Just we need to start operations. We need to understand when we will start. This is the issue.
We have needs for the fundamental training, such as safety, security, human factors, for all the staff. And then we have the necessity for the specific training, job training for specific functions within the airport operation. And then we have the necessity for the practical training to be sure that the personnel get their qualification back and able to perform their duties by themselves safely and efficiently. That may be the answer.
And can you talk about the international partnerships a little bit more that you're helping rely on in order to get these efforts and the recovery going, such as those with the AAUCA and other global aviation organizations? How are they helping facilitate the efforts to prepare you for recovery?
They also propose training courses, and I know that some guys from Borispol and from, I don't know, either from our airport, were going through some training stuff as well, or handling training and some courses. They have provided this support, and also always ready to help us in support if to send our teams to other airports, as I understand. They could arrange and help us if we would require maybe once per half a year or just before operations to send them. So this way of help in priority.
Yeah, Joe, honestly speaking, we've got the possibility, thanks to the colleagues from the United States and thanks to Steve, we've got the possibility to try the training courses developed by the NATO, United States organization, and by the American Airports Associations. So our colleagues from our airports took a chance to test the products developed and offered to the United States personnel in the airports. We also would like thank to ACI, the Association European, it's International Association, Airport Civil Association, for their support with the information, with the promotion of our airports needs, and so that's maybe the main achievement at the moment.
So in terms of the world community and getting this going and the role of grants, donations, contributions, everything to help the initiative, how can the global aviation community further contribute to the future of the Ukrainian aviation system and help get it running again once we're ready to go?
if you could arrange the same like for UKSATSE, some monetary fund to support our airports with finances. So just to keep our operation readiness in mode, as we are asking our state this year, and so this is the first, just to keep us surviving. This is the first, it's finances. And the next is just to keep our staff trained. So we could send our teams to any airports just to be in a live situation of airports during some weeks, and get some sub updates of our certificates. So this is the best priorities for your support. And next, already in just in our equipment, which we need to renew or update, is X-ray machines, security cameras, and these anti-drones. So this is the first priority. And as regards to our some infrastructure projects of rehabilitation, reconstruction, so it should be already maybe after we will start operations, because safety will be more better, and we will just any infrastructure projects are to be started after the maybe will be operating, because until we are not secure and safe, not necessary to start with some rehabilitation renovation, but to think where to find instrumental landing system. And it should be very nice to start with it even now, just to look for it and to find it for us.
The experience that we lost already since 2022 may be given to us by the airport so-called community. So the experience is I guess it's one of the most important things we may be supported with. As Tatiana told, life is life, and the budget also needed to perform to keep the airports ready to be open. And also, we would like to be the part of the global aviation community as soon as aviation activity renovated here in Ukraine. We would like to become the part of the global aviation industry. So the strategical support for us, it's also important, and expertise, know-how are very welcome here from that parties who may offer this to airports, to aviation air traffic services, and to airlines as well. And the legal support, I mean the legislation, the development of the legislation, civil aviation legislation in Ukraine, it's also one of the important part of the support may be provided by the aviation community.
Piggybacking off of that, what is the long-term vision for Ukraine's aviation network going forward?
We have to renew our traffic at least by half pre-war traffic volumes in 2-3 years, as I understand. The first year would be the most hardest year, because we have to understand during first year of operations what kind of traffic we can cope. And after second and third period, we will see what the traffic will, how it is developed, because we do understand that maybe 10-15 million of Ukrainians traffic are still traveling within Europe, and they are ours. And what is good that all our international partners are really waiting for, and they are ready to rehabilitate our traffic. This is very, very, very nice for us. So as I understand, we could develop very, very fast, but after second, third year of opening. But the first year it should be maybe very, very hardest. But also we have to understand either we start during war, or we start when the war is finished, and with what airports we are starting. So of course 2 state airports should start first, because we are the most ready, and then we will recover very fast. And of course we would like to develop those airports which are mostly saved and operational. So maybe we could prepare even 2 lists of this handling equipment, what we require as first priority list and then secondary list. And as far as we will be fast in our development, the second list will be very fast fixed to the first list, because we should ask for more and then see how requirements are grow, as I see.
Yeah, and I would like to add, Joe, I would like to add that Ukraine is Europe, not only geographically, but also mentally. And we would like to be strategically, we would like to be the part of the European aviation industry with a high-level safety standards, with a high-level technology implemented in the airports and in the aviation industry acting here in Ukraine. So I guess the main target for us, for the managers who works right now in the airports, keeping the airports ready to be renovated, to be opened soon, is to be the part of the European aviation system, to be the part of the European aviation industry, to follow the legal requirements from the aviation industry, and to be ready to so-called to correspond to the requirements issued to the all European society, to the all European aviation community, and to the not only European aviation community but also global aviation community, because United States play one of the main role in the aviation development and industry development also. So our target to be the part of the global aviation industry and to so-called to effectively respond to the needs of the Ukrainian society with air traffic and aviation transportation.
As I understand, we have a very big diaspora living in USA, and even from here, we know that we could have very many flights even from west part of Ukraine, because after Second Patriotic War, a big diaspora moved to Chicago, Toronto, New York, and others. So now this diaspora has grown a lot. So of course we have to identify where Ukrainians moved before war, and then we understand that after war we'll be highly focused on our experience, and we do understand that not only from USA, maybe from very big globe, far countries, we will have lots of interest to our country. So maybe even we have far countries will be wishing and coming more often to us. So like Saudi, so maybe Canada, USA, and we even don't know those who have want to have some experience from our crisis management and our operation readiness keeping during war, so we can share with it. So as I understand, we will be not only European, but we will be worldwide interesting country for whole the world, which would like to come and see and have fresh experience of survival.
So Ukraine should be safe country to fly. It should be safe to fly to Ukraine, and it should be safe to fly over Ukraine. And to summarize, we would like to be the part of the global aviation industry, and we would like to correspond to all the requirements and all the standards issued on a high level standards issued to the aviation operations, and it should be the main target for us strategically.
It's very important, and those are great goals to see for the future of Ukraine. And it's very exciting to see that this is an opportunity to come out of such a terrible situation that has perceived the country because of this invasion and all the damage that's been done, not just, for infrastructure, but people as well. What message would you like to convey to the international aviation stakeholders about the importance of supporting Ukraine's aviation recovery efforts coming out of this?
Okay, Joe, let me start with, I would like to say that the Earth is small, and aviation bring us closer. So all who works for aviation, all the aviation industry workers, we are one family. And we have to remember that we are one family. Sometimes we have hard days, sometimes we have good days, but we are one family. And we have to remember that the safety is our first priority. And we have to be sure that we are on the high level standards, we support each other, and we can rely to each other in everyday situation. That may be the message to all of us, to all the airports and to all the aviation colleagues.
Just to finalize, just to realize that everybody could be in our situation, and just imagine what would they require on our places. What kind of support and help they would require if they were on our place. Yes, and just to understand that we need support. Any way they could help us would be highly appreciated, from the smaller to the bigger. So we have mentioned you the list of our requests, and now you maybe share with your colleagues and share with yours. So in any way, any kind of support would be appreciated.
Thanks for tuning in to the Aviation Pros podcast. Stay ahead in airport operations and leadership by subscribing to our Airport Business Daily Newsletter, your go-to source for the latest industry insights. And don't forget to explore even more at AviationPros.com, the home of exclusive content for aviation professionals like you. I'm Joe Petrie. We'll catch you next time.